Welcome in, everybody. Listen, when you go into a live, okay, and I don't know who this host is at all, but and I don't even know what the person's angle is with anything. I'm not really sure why Ratina was brought into it. I have no clue. But when you're hosting a live and you're having a conversation with somebody, with the host, and the host starts bringing a ton of people up into boxes, and you can't talk because people are being so disrespectful and rude, it's impossible. It's impossible to have a conversation. And the fact that I wasn't even reading the comments because I knew based on who was in the box there, the people that were listening in there, that were in there watching. So I knew I didn't read the comments because I'm sure they were really crappy and it was filled with a bunch of lies. There's one thing I can't stand. When people lie, okay? And then when they're caught lying, the host doesn't bring that up. Okay? How long did it take me to finally get Florida Man to admit that he sent me a message saying that he accepted my apology and we're all good now? That was like a year and a half ago. Yet the entire time before I told him I have the screenshots of it, he said that it never happened. Bougie still refers to the whole Florida incident as allegedly. Allegedly. The crime that he committed allegedly. Again, my question is this. If you are being falsely accused of something and you didn't do it and you know there's a warrant out, then go to the department, turn yourself in, and if there's not enough evidence on you, they will either, let you go on a bond until a court date or whatever. They'll give you a lawyer if you don't have one. Why won't he do that? Because he did it. And he knows. Why is he running? Why is he running from the police? And Bougie said to me, well, how do you know he doesn't have a house? How do I know he doesn't have a house? Because on every single police report, when it says address, it says, what does it say? Not indigent, it says homeless or something like that. I couldn't get a freaking word in edgewise. Transient, thank you. Yeah, why didn't you clock? How could I clock him when every time I started talking, I either got interrupted or I got muted? I would start answering a question. I get interrupted by somebody in a box or by the host asking another question that had nothing to do with it. They couldn't focus on one thing. It started out, it was about Ratina and her being tied to the GoFundMe. And then, of course, Bougie has to stick up for her guy. And did you notice Hold on. I'm gonna be transitioning down to my cave, so you might lose my voice for a minute. So hold on. Okay, I am down in my cave. Let me do this here. Okay. Did you notice a couple things that stuck out in my head? Did you notice, again, the hypocrisy? I mean, every time Bougie said something, it was absolutely ridiculous. So she said, well, Guardians had all my information and he put it out there and you're responsible for that. And I said, well, wait a minute. So with your theory, since you're friends with Florida Man, everything he's done to people, it's your responsibility, right? And did you hear her deflect that? She never answered it. She never answered it. Oh, yeah, the trans thing, that was the best thing. That was the best thing when, oh, well, we have proof that you falsely, categorized 50. Are you transphobe? Whatever they were saying. So, oh, yeah, they got a clip of it. They got a clip of it, and they played the clip, and you could hear crickets. Misgendered, thank you. You could hear crickets, and the host said, "Did I miss something? I didn't hear anything." Oh, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it right now. Yeah. I'm trying to get it to my iPad so you could see the whole thing. It's just not kicking over, but I'll post it here. Hold on. Okay, first of all, here is the clip, okay? This was messages between Victoria and Sunshine. I've had this now for a month and a half, and I did post it on a video. So the red was Sunshine, and the blue is Victoria. And if you look at the middle there, Victoria says, I messaged Florida Man and told him Pam told me about Hamas, and I told you about Hamas, and that's why all of this stuff happened. So, remember when you said I was lying, Snark, and I never showed proof of that? There you go. I messaged Florida Man, and I told him Pam told me about Hamas, and I told you about Hamas, and that's why all this stuff happened. And if you see at the top, it says Victoria, and Victoria's in blue, and Sunshine is the red one. So there's that proof. And let me show you some other screenshots here. Remember she said that Kimmy was the one who doxed me? And I said, no, Miss Sunshine did it. And she actually fessed up to it and all that. No, Kimmy did it. She started a whole Snapchat with it. Okay. So here's one screenshot that I have of information that she posted about somebody, okay? You see the name up there? Yeah, that's not Kimmy's screen name. That's Sunshine's. I'm trying to, I think I can, I don't know if I can get the video. Let me show the other screenshot I have of the same stuff. Yeah, here's another one. There's my father's obituary. Yep, and that was posted in there by Miss Sunshine. You could see at the top where it says her name. That's not Kimmy's name. I have another screenshot too. Hold on. Here we go. That's another one. Yeah, that's not Kimmy's name. That's Sunshine's. And as I've said, multiple times, Sunshine admitted she did it. And over a month ago, Sunshine contacted me and apologized for it. So, again, Pam, that's two things you accused me of today that I lied about. And just like that, I've proven you wrong. Now, Florida Man wants to continue on this thing. In fact, here, let me post this one here. So, Florida Man says what I'm doing is fear-mongering. It's when someone intentionally something fear to control perceptions, behavior, decision-making. First of all, nice use of Chat GPT there, Florida Man. You did a great job with that. But let me show you quickly again. I posted a video today about Florida Man. And let me pop this up and I'll go through it. Because he wants to say that I lie about him. So let's go to the proof there. They're trying to say that with this whole Cash App thing, with the Lisa Richards, I was involved with that. I was not involved with that. Even the host said that. Well, Scammy, I heard you were involved. No, I was never involved in anything to do with that stuff with Lisa Richard. It was not me. Okay? And again, the host says you should be calling out people that are doing things wrong. If you're going to call people out for doing it, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So Florida Man's calling out people for these cloned Cash App things, okay? And OG Breezy has admitted she did it, and she showed her receipts, and she showed the money that she sent back with the comments saying, Lisa's a scammer, blah, 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 blah. But Florida Man knew that Miss Sunshine did it. And he was good buddies with Miss Sunshine. I never heard him bring anything up on it. And not only has she admitted it, but she's admitted it and she's claimed that she financially gained from it. But that it was okay. Again, the hypocrisy. It was okay because he and, Sunshine were good friends. But it's not okay because people that he has been going, on a rampage for, who did it but sent the money back, that's not okay. He said, I made hundreds. Florida Man said, you made hundreds of those Cash Apps and you never returned it. I never made a single one. And then he lied and he said, I cloned Sean's Cash App. First of all, I don't even think Sean has a Cash App. And I've never cloned anything. But again, this is the problem with a lot of people. And, it doesn't matter what I say here because, again, people are going to believe him or they're going to believe me. And it's all based on whether or not they like me. He's never showed proof of any of that shit. And they don't ask for it. They sit there like a bunch of sheep and he goes in front of them and he tells them whatever and they don't ask questions. And they just sit there idly and they let him do this stuff. So it's crazy. So here's, I'm going to read this. So this is a video I made. Okay. Let me take my camera off here for a minute. Okay. So this was a video that he made of me. Okay. And again, he's alleging, all this false stuff that he said that I did. Okay. Again, with no proof of anything. I'm fear mongering. It's when someone intentionally shapes fear to control perception, behavior, decision making. So I'm shaping fear. Okay, let's see. Fear mongering. Let me make a short list of some of your activities on and off the app. Okay, called people's parents. We know he did that to Retina. He called his mom. He called Vikings family. He's called my family. He's called jobs. We know that because he's admitted it. Called people's spouses. He's done that. Contacted people's jobs. I wrote that to it. Contacted a PTO. He did that. Posted false information on social media sites. Yep, he showed the posts where he lied about people and put it on Facebook groups that the people may be a part of. Doxed real names. He's done that numerous times. Doxed family members. He did that with me. He did that with a bunch of people. Posted photos of people and their families. He's done that. Posted photos of people's houses. He's done that. Made false allegations of people being inappropriate with kids. He's done that at least twice that I know of. One to me. Threatening copyrighting creators' pages. He's done that a ton of times. Threatening fake lawsuits. He did that when he was in a police department back, beginning of the summer. Threatening to mail postcards to slander and defame. He just did that, but Breezy proved that wrong. Making videos including creators' deceased parents. Yup. Speaking on creators' cancer struggles. Yup. And I said, that's just the ones off of the top of my head. So tell me, and I wrote, everything I posted about your examples of what you have either admitted to in your own videos or you've done during your lives. Can't get any more factual than that, and a handful of people still continue to support your behavior. So tell me again, Mike. He says I've been lying about him and I've been stalking him for 2 years. I never started speaking out about him until the whole thing with Scam went down because that was atrocious. That was atrocious. So, I thank you, Mike, for thinking you were that important to me for this whole time I was on TikTok, but you're not. He says I've made over 200 videos of him. I think that's a little high. I think that's a very high number. But, I don't even care. I don't even care because, as usual, if he's going to call me out and say that that's wrong, how many videos did he make of Scam? I mean, it's ridiculous. These people can say what they want. They could say what they want. But like I said in the video I posted today, the big difference is this. When I post something, I have proof to back it up. Mike posts stuff, he never has any proof of it. Never. And those people over there can, they can continue to ride for him. They look ridiculous. Everybody that is aware of who Florida Man is on this app, and there are a lot, regardless of if they're in my lives ever or if they're in Florida Man's ever. They know what he's all about. And they know the people that support him, they know what they're all about. And that gives me peace. That does give me peace. I got a message today, and I'm waiting for a receipt of it. So I will just say, allegedly, I received information from somebody who said he cloned a creator's Cash App on this platform. That Florida man cloned one. So if that's the case, how is he going to talk himself out of that? Because if indeed that's the case, he's going after people for cloning Cash Apps, only the people, of course, that he doesn't like. But if that's the case and he did do that, again, is anybody ever going to say to him, oh, well, Florida man, you did that too, you know. Here's the proof of it. And then he'll go to the deflection, and he won't even comment on it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Who was that person, Jay Grandma? Tell me, Steph. Tell me, Steph, what did she do? Steph is in NYC. What did she do? Oh, good. Breezy, can you come up and play that for me, please? And that was the other thing, you know, when I brought up the fact that 50 was not sticking up for Casey, I said, oh, well, he was in a chat. No, he wasn't in a chat. He was in a live. Well, okay, well, when he was in the live.
Yeah, he was in that live.
Yeah. I knew it. And you know, I had a screenshot of comments that people told me that he said, but I tossed them. I couldn't find them. So I'm like, I'm sure somebody has it. So do you have that available to play?
Yeah, it's an audio. I'm trying to find the video. I know somebody's got recordings of it, but I did find somebody who posted the audio. I'll play it. Hold on.
Hold on. I'm gonna invite this person up here. Steph in NYC, I invited you up because I'm still not sure what you're talking about, but you can come up here and we can have a conversation about it.
You may wait till after that, or
no? Well, hold on for a minute. My assumption is this person will not come up because people always seem to have a lot to talk about in chat, but when you want them to come up and have a conversation, they don't. So Steph is in New York City. You're going to come up here? Oh, you're at work. Okay. You're at work. But you have time to put comments in there, but you can't come up, huh? Okay. Yeah, why don't you play that now, Breeze, if you got it.
okay.
So now, ain't Casey a woman? It was a glass D, girl. I want to.
Which that's bougie, by the way. But I'll back it up. So she was in there as well.
Girl. I want to have to work that shit, not just be fucking handed right over.
That was 50, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then towards the end of it.
Two more guns. Hey, 50 with the 50-gallon hat. What up?
So he also gifted in that live.
So now that was the live, if I'm not mistaken, where weren't they? They were calling out Casey, right?
Yeah, and they were mentioning a glass appendage and laughing about that, and basically saying, now it could have, I think it was Bougie that said it, but I could be wrong. That's basically cheating on your husband with a woman.
Yes. Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't FWA saying that about Casey? Isn't that a girl? Or
Yes.
something like that. And they were saying, well, you know, and they were kind of ish explaining, you know, Casey. And then she made a comment like, well, I don't really care or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but they were definitely, they were going after Casey. Okay. They were going after Casey for some things that happened. Okay. And I remember, and this is why I kept saying to Bougie, are you sure? Because I remember, so 50 Shades was in the box, even made a ha funny about the Glass D thing, but wasn't there to say, listen, guys, we shouldn't be talking about this. This is inappropriate. You shouldn't be talking about trans people like this.
Yep.
And that was my point. My point was he did not stick up for Casey in that situation. But just months before, when he was in T's Live, he was crying because somebody was going after him for the same thing.
Yeah. Bougie actually misgendered Casey several times in that conversation. So they want to bring up misgendering. Even after that, and that other person said, well, was it born a girl or a boy?
Right. Was it? That's right.
Yeah, Bougie multiple times said, well, she, and she like referred to Casey as she multiple times. So they want to bring up misgendering when, you know, the person who misgendered 50 didn't really know 50 at the time. So didn't really know anything about him. But Bougie knows about Casey and misgendered them multiple times.
Yep. So pretty much, listen, Rainbow Sunshine, I already said that wasn't the case. So, you know, y'all need to kind of keep up with things here. Over a month ago, I said that I never got receipts about the couch. And since I didn't get receipts, it didn't happen. And Mallory bought it herself. But you know what you can do? Since I already admitted that I was wrong with that, why don't you tell Mallory that she can apologize for saying that I was lying about a warrant? How's that? Because I'm still waiting for that. Oh, is that Mallory? Where's Mallory? Is that her?
Streaming, maybe.
Oh, she's streaming me? Hey, Mal. Hey, Mal. How you doing? Listen, Mals. Why don't you talk to your buddies over there? Okay, next time Florida Man goes live. And why don't you admit the fact that 3 things that were alleged against me, I've already proven that they lied. I hope you do that now. But I wouldn't guess you would, because, you know, since, you know, you don't like me, you're not going to stand on what's right. And that's fine. So we have Bougie lying about the fact that 50 had nothing to do with it. 50 lied about the fact that he had nothing to do with it. And we just played that. I showed you the screenshot. Let me show it again for those people that are just coming in here. So Pam said I never showed proof about her tied in with Hamas. Okay, so here's the proof of that again. And this was written, these are messages between Victoria and Sunshine. And Victoria says, in the blue, I messaged Florida Man and told him Pam told me about Hamas. And I told you about Hamas, and that's why all of this stuff happened. So she said that, first of all, I didn't show anything. And this is on a video that I posted probably back in August. So I did show it. And then she said that this never happened. And I'm showing it that indeed it did happen. So this is her friend now that still sits with her, if I'm not mistaken. I believe her and Victoria are friends again. They have been for a while. I messaged Florida Man and told him, Pam told me about Hamas, and I told you about Hamas, and that's why all of this stuff happened. And then she said that Kimmy was the one who doxed people in the Snapchat. Now, one of the questions I have for Pam, why are you in a Snapchat where people are being doxxed, first of all? Why is that the case? Because the messages with the doxing and all that happened before or right around the time that Sunshine said she was going to go live and dox all my nieces and nephews, my minors. And Pam, you said you were against doxing, but then all of a sudden it changed to, well, I'm normally against this stuff, but since it's Scammyclaus, I support it. So why are you doxing? And it wasn't only me in there. I don't know who the other person was. I didn't read it, but let me show you those screenshots. So this is the screenshots of my information. She's got something, and you see that the name is Kristen. Okay, that's Sunshine. That's not Kimmy. So under that name are people being doxxed. And let me show you here. This is a picture of my father's obituary. And there's information about me. And who posted that? It's not Kimmy. It's Sunshine. So again, Pammy, you got to stop the lying. There's my LinkedIn. Who posted that? That would be Sunshine in this Snapchat group. It was not Kimmy. So Snark, you want to talk about lying. You called me a liar multiple times there when I said I had proof. And you said I'm a liar. Who's the liar now? Huh? Got to get your ducks in a row there, Pam. You really do. So, yep, unhinged, exactly. Listen, like I said to Florida Man, he could post videos about me every day. I don't care. As long as he puts the truth out there. If he's saying that I did something that was, wrong, or I did something terrible, fine, post it. Rather than making up all this fake bullshit. The other thing that made me laugh is that both Florida Man and Bougie first said, well, I don't follow your content. Really? Well, then why are you posting screenshots of my stuff? Or why are you making comments about my videos in your lives if you're not following my content or if you're not seeing it? Oh well, I sometimes I see something. Shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Again, for those of you that came in late, this was a live. I had heard that, again, people were talking about a GoFundMe with Mike and all that, and as I said, these people are making accusations and they're getting little bits and pieces of information and they're running with it. Mike said, or Bougie said, well, you originally said the money was going to go for a PI. So why'd you change it? Bougie, if you don't follow my lives, which you don't, before I even started the GoFundMe, I said, it's not going for a PI now because supposedly Guardians was getting PIs for us that he knew. And I changed it to a reward money instead. And that was before I collected any money. And I said that in a live. So again, get your facts straight. I didn't do a bait and switch like Florida Man says, because that's what he does with boxes of money for cancer research and candy. The old bait and switch where you bring an empty one in and you take a full one and you steal it. Right, Florida Man? Right? So that wasn't even an issue when I started that GoFundMe. I heard somebody made a comment. I received a message that they said the GoFundMe was shut down because it was fraudulent or something. No, not at all. When I got word that somebody in my Discord was able to send Mike the link for it, I shut it down because I knew he was going to try to get it shut down. And at that point, I had almost gotten $1,700 on the GoFundMe. So I shut it down. So no, it was not shut down fraudulently. I wasn't going to keep it up for long term. I mean, I had looked at like $1,000 or something, about $1,000 for it. And there was more money. People wanted to donate money to get Mike arrested. Oh yeah, sugar bum bum. Yeah, I closed it down, after we got that after the GoFundMe got the 1,000. I said, well, let's try to get 2,000. And when I had to close it down, we were up to like 1685. And then somebody requested money back. And I think it was 1685, 1675. I have the receipts posted on my page. So the final number was 1625, which was collected. And because I said it was going to be 2,000, I said, I'm going to personally kick in the rest of the money. So I'm putting in more money than was collected for the reward money. So how is it that I'm scamming? I'm still not sure how I'm scamming people, because I'm going to be paying out more than I collected. And I'm not going to say this, but the people in the chat, what have I said multiple times on here about if people donated money to the GoFundMe? What have I said that they can do? What have I said? Right. Let me know if you want a refund. Because if anybody wants the money back, I will absolutely send it to them. So how can I be scamming people out of money if I will send the money back to them? But again, they're not going to say that. They're not going to say, well, she collected all this money and she's scamming people. But she also said, if there's anybody that would like their money back, reach out to her and she'll send it. They're not going to say that. But again, this is what Mike and all of his friends do over there.
So his claim is that your offer to return the money is actually an intimidation tactic.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he's been saying, him and Monster.
Of course.
Because they're saying that he's saying you should just return all the money back, because if somebody does ask for the money back, then there'll be, I don't know, consequences or something. It's intimidating for somebody to have to ask you for it back.
Oh my God.
So it's an intimidation tactic.
Because I'm really
where
scared.
Where does he come up with this stuff? I have no clue.
No, I'll tell you how he comes up with this stuff. Because if it was Mike running a GoFundMe like this, and people asked him to refund some of their money, he would get pissed and he would put them on blast and dox their information and say, so-and-so sent me money for a GoFundMe to find Scammy, but now they want it back. So this is the type of piece of shit this person is.
He's the one that would use intimidation tactics. Exactly. So that's why he just thinks that everybody else would do the same thing that he would. No, we are not the same. People do not do the same thing as you, Florida man.
They not like us.
We don't use intimidation tactics. You do.
Yeah. Listen, as I said, I could be on here 24/7 just blowing holes in everything they say. But, unfortunately, it really doesn't matter, because the people that are over in that live will never listen to anything other than he says. Nothing. You know, when he posts something and I prove that he's lying about it, they're never going to see it or they're never going to believe it. So it's always going to be a group of people that support me and see that I put out the truth and I put out receipts for everything I say. And that, you know, the whole thing with Guardians, the whole thing with the GoFundMe, I'm being honest about that, but it doesn't matter. So it's kind of like, why do you even defend yourself? Because it doesn't matter what you say. Depending on who you are, people are going to believe it or not believe it.
Well, when I went to court, I had evidence, and guess what? They believed it. So,
well, you know, and that's one thing I really hope.
Yet somehow I got it on a technicality. Yet I still have all the evidence. Still have it all.
You know, that's why I hope, okay? I hope that when he is finally picked up and he's incarcerated, I hope to God that people that have been, you know, attacked by him on this app, off the app, whatever. I hope everybody that has been a victim of his is saving all their proof, because I hope to God that when he's incarcerated, he gets hit with so many court appearances where he has to actually finally show up to court and, you know, be held accountable for the shit that he's done on here, and he starts getting smacked with protection orders left, right, and center. I hope that happens. I hope that happens. And
me too.
you know,
I mean, I already have one, but I can extend it. But the thing is, there would be additional consequences, you know, for what his violations are. Like there could be
exactly.
additional charges and jail time associated with what he's doing, like serious ones.
Right,
So,
because the
that's why
behavior
I don't
hasn't
care.
stopped. The behavior
Yeah, I don't.
hasn't
Yeah,
stopped.
no. So I don't. If he wants to post videos and he wants to go live about me, I like literally. People are recording them and saving them for me, the videos and all the live streams. So it will all just be more evidence. So the more he talks, the more he's violating it, and that's a felony in Florida. So he can keep doing that. He can keep doing that because the more he does it, it could be multiple felonies. So he can keep doing that.
Yep.
It will all pan out in the end.
Yep.
He will get his.
And he will. And you know, again, I look forward to that day, because when that finally happens, there's going to be a lot of people that support him that aren't going to know what the fuck to do with their lives anymore. Because their lives are so based on what Florida Man says and does. You know, it's like their purpose in life to go over there and believe everything he says. Because anybody that has an ounce of morality is not over there, because they have seen everything that he's done on this app. But you know what all those people have in common except Mallory, because, you know, Mallory was attacked by Florida Man pretty badly, but now she's okay with it. But a majority of those people, what they have in common is they have never been a victim of Florida Man's. But I guarantee you, if any of those people had been a target of Florida Man's, and you know, he starts calling their family members or calling their jobs or doing any of that, I guarantee you they wouldn't be okay with it. You know, and it's funny. I'm glad 50 Shades was in a box today when I got over there, because I'm glad that he is still butthurt about that video I made where I said in the video that certain things were going to happen to certain people. And if you remember, that was the time where Florida Man was in T's Live, and he doxed me, he doxed my wife, and he doxed a bunch of other people. And it was when all the people that were her close friends were there or in boxes, and not once did they say, this is wrong, you shouldn't be doing it. So if you remember, I made that video where I said, I'm going to be doing this to this person, and I'm going to be putting out information on this person. And all the things that I said that I was going to do are things that Florida Man had done to people on this app. And if you remember at the end of the video, I purposely put a little pause in there and I let it run. And then I made the comments, I would never do this to anybody on this app, but these are the things that Florida Man has done to people on this app. And all of you were okay with it. But I'm glad to see that 50 is still triggered by that, because I got my point across. Now, you'd think if you had that moment of fear where you thought information was going to be put out on you, and that still triggers you, and remember, I never did it, you would think that somebody like 50 would be like, shit, now I know what those people went through when Florida Man actually did that stuff to them. It was only said that it was going to happen, but never did. But Florida Man actually did these things to people. You'd think that he would have gotten the hint and been able to like internalize how wrong that was and be like, I don't want any part of that. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable to me. Unbelievable.
Video clip that they're showing at that time, I didn't know that 50 identified as
exactly, and that's what I said. That's what I said.
So
I said
purposely misgender it.
No, of course,
misgender him.
No, and I said that.
I would never do that.
Nope.
I am part of the community, and I encourage people to always use proper pronouns. I correct people if I'm aware that an improper pronoun's being used ever. You know, and it does happen. And if it's not intentional, you just correct it and move on.
But that's
so I
the
don't
thing.
know
I
why
said,
they're
and
calling
I said that.
They're calling me transphobic. They're calling me transphobic. Like, absolutely not. It couldn't be farther from the truth.
No, and listen, and they're gonna keep saying that. You know, when I was in there, I said to Bougie, I think it was to Bougie, or I don't know. I said, do you know that Scam Slam knows the pronouns that 50 is called? I mean, nobody said anything, you know, in that video. And even the host said, did I miss something? I didn't hear anybody being, you know, misgendered. I mean, even the host said it. The fact that that person is, if it's the same clip and they're playing it again, that's ridiculous. Because that was already proven.
In the clip, I did refer to 50 as she. But at that time, I had never spoken. I didn't know. I had never spoken with 50. The only thing I knew about 50 is that 50 used to be in T's lives a lot of the time. And I don't watch T's lives, and I'm blocked from T's lives. And I guess I mistakenly assumed. I mean, usually it's a lot of women in her lives, right? So I thought that I mistakenly assumed that 50 was a woman. That's it.
Let me guess also. Let me guess also that they're not playing the clip to prove that Bougie and 50 lied, that 50 was indeed in FWA's live when they were referring to Casey as it, when Bougie was making comments about a certain type of schmex toy, and they were all joking about it, but I'm sure they're not playing that video where indeed 50 did not stick up for Casey.
Right. And Bougie went so far as to say that in that clip that they played, where I just mistakenly, used the wrong pronoun for 50, because I didn't know and I made an incorrect assumption. So yeah, I apologize. I was wrong about
But
that.
no, they made it sound
But
like you
but
did it, that you,
Bougie said that I called 50 a he, she. I would
oh my
never,
God.
never, I have never ever used that term for anyone in my
How
life
can these
and
people
would
lie?
not.
Scam, hold on. Can you hear me at all?
Yes.
Okay, because I keep talking and I'm trying to say stuff and I don't know if you're hearing me or not. But how can these people lie about that stuff? I mean, like what has to be misfiring in your head to purposely put out information like that without being able to back it up? Like how can she do that? Because let me guess, there was never a clip, because I've never heard you say that, and Bougie doesn't have a clip. Let me guess. I'm telling you, sometimes it makes me just want to come on here one day and just make a bunch of false allegations about all these people. Like just make the absolute worst allegations that I can create in my head and not show any proof of anything, but just put all of this horrible shit out there about people. And let me see how they react to it.
I've had the same thoughts, fleeting thoughts.
Because what is it? What are they proving to everybody on this app? What they're proving is it doesn't matter if you show receipts of what you say. People won't believe you, but they'll believe the person who constantly lies and never shows truth. So with that theory in mind, that would mean if I came on here and made a bunch of horrible allegations about people and didn't show the proof, then they would believe me. So maybe that's the way you get people to realize who Florida Man is. You just lie about him. I know, Nana. No, I wouldn't do it, but you get my point, right? I mean, it's like it doesn't matter if you do the right thing on this app.
You do get a fleeting thought, just a
Oh,
thought, not
yeah.
anything serious, but you do get
Because
a
I'll
fleeting
tell you,
thought of like stooping to their level and making up stuff.
If I wanted to go to their level, I could be just as dirty as they are, and as Florida Man said, ratchet. Oh, I could be that person. I could absolutely be that person if I wanted to. So, I'm telling you though, I will continually, when I have stuff, handy, I will absolutely come on and I will absolutely blow these people out of the water whenever they lie. And I can show the proof immediately. Sometimes if I don't have it, I might have to wait, a day or so to reach out to somebody for proof and to show it. But, in just that amount of time I was in that live today, I was able to come on in a half hour and I was able to show 1, 2, 4 things to prove what they did was a lie in that short amount of time.
Bougie said that nowhere on any of the paperwork did it ever say that he's homeless. And we have that posted. We have it on the police report where it says he.
Right. Even the post I made today or it's either the first or second newest post on my page. I have the police report where he stole those boxes of candy with the breast cancer awareness money in it. And it says there that he's homeless. Or I whatever the word is again. Itinerant. What's the word? Itinerant? Transient. Jesus. I can't remember that word. Transient.
When Monster was live, I think it was last night or the night before, she was like, she was streaming your live and listening to it and then stopping and making comments. And I don't know, but it seems like she started the live like halfway through. And she kept saying, well, I don't understand this. They just keep talking about Florida Man and they're not even bringing up GOV. And I'm thinking, you didn't start it in the beginning. The whole beginning part was all about GOV, where we read the blog post and talked about
Hey,
the information.
Scam, what does it say on here? What does it say?
Transient.
Yeah, what does that say? Address local. It says transient. So again, Booge, come on. It's
But
too
yeah,
easy.
she was saying that your live from the other day was all about Florida Man and nothing about GOV. And she didn't play the whole thing. She started it like maybe halfway in or something like that, or maybe
Right.
even
Well,
farther.
you know, listen, they can keep saying that, you know, somehow I was in on this with Guardians and I knew all about what he was doing. And they've also said I created the GoFundMe to give him money, and they can all keep saying that stuff. But again, and I'm sure this will get back to Mike and the Bougie and Monster, show the proof that I knew that, because I'll tell you what, I don't see them going after any other creator on this app who has come out and said, oh my God, I can't believe Guardians lied about all this stuff. I mean, I am blown away. I knew nothing about this. I never knew this stuff. I don't see them going after other creators saying, prove it. Prove it. Prove you didn't know this person. Prove you didn't know what he was all about. And I'll tell you why. It's because number one, I'm a woman. And number two, they don't like me.
And number three, you're actually intelligent with some morals. Huh. How
I
about
mean,
that?
if I knew all about this, okay, why would I have gone live after Mexican Homies Live and after Scam had found out other information that wasn't even put out on that original live? Why would I have gone live and let her show other damning evidence? Why?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't even think that they saw that you went live after Mexican Homie that night because they have not brought that up. And then she said that the live that you had the day after was all about Florida Man, which is not true.
No.
Not
Did I even go
she did
on the
not
next
play the whole
day?
thing.
Did I even go on the next day? I don't even
It
remember
was,
if I did or not.
yeah, I think it was the next day, the day after. It was whenever, yeah, it was the next day. It was after I found out, you know, GOV's real name and
Okay, yeah,
and
that's
all of
when we
that,
had
and
it.
we
Right.
read the blog post, but she didn't play. She was streaming that live and listening to it, but she didn't play the whole beginning part. She started it probably, you know, halfway or 2/3 in, and is like, "Why is this whole live all about Florida Man and nothing about GOV?" Well, we had already talked about all of that, most of all of that in the
Well,
beginning
come on.
portion, and that was the majority.
Cut her some slack. Cut her some slack. I mean, to be honest, she doesn't seem like she's firing on all cylinders. So, you know, maybe she didn't know that she had to like rewind it or something. I don't know.
So the chat is saying that Florida
Florida
Man is
Man
saying the
is the best way.
beneficiary.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck,
That
Florida Man.
Florida Man is the beneficiary of the GoFundMe and all the money you raise is going to him.
Okay, so that's pretty funny. He can keep thinking that. That's cool.
There isn't even any money in the GoFundMe anymore. You closed it.
He has the email from GoFundMe. Yeah, okay.
Him.
Yeah.
Does that mean he's going to turn himself in? Is he going to turn his own self in just for the reward money?
So wait, he has the email from GoFundMe. Is that kind of like how he has all the copyrighted, you know, papers from, you know, being able to copyright every single person's, you know, TikTok name and
Yeah, and the
other,
receipt,
and all the things,
receipt for the pamphlets.
and all the things. It amazes me. It amazes me that people believe it. I mean, it's just, you have to wonder, like, what happened? What happened in somebody's life to rely on one person says, and that's the truth. And that's the truth. Like, like we always say with scammers and all that, do your research. Do your research on these people. I I tell everybody, and I'll tell everybody again, do your research. Do your research on Florida Man. Emlyn, no money in the Emlyn, no money in the GoFundMe. Oh, well, I think this is the burner account, but no money in the GoFundMe. You took it all out. Yes, I closed the GoFundMe about 8 hours after I made it because Florida Man was able to somehow get the link to it, and I knew he was going to falsely report it. So I took the money out. There was $1,625 in there. After you had to pay for it, I want to say it was $1,605 or something that was transferred. And yes, I have the money and it is safe in account waiting to be sent to whoever, gives information that to the location of where Mike is for him to get arrested and the warrant be served and having, put into custody.
The thing, Monster also kept saying, why isn't Scammy talking about the GoFundMe? How come she never talks about the GoFundMe? We've talked about it during every live that you've had. You've always brought it up, and you've been saying in every live, like, if you want the money back, I'll send it back to you, and this is what it's being used for. And we've reminded people about the reward and encouraged people to, put out the information. Nothing has been hidden at all. And we've discussed it during every live stream. I think they don't watch your live streams.
They don't. They say they do, but they don't get all the information. They only get the information that Florida Man's supporters give to him, which is to make me look bad on something. They're not going to say, oh, well, Florida Man, you're not right about that because Scammy said if anybody wants their money back, she'll send it back. They won't say that because then that shows that I'm being transparent with that. They don't want to tell that to Florida Man. But, this is one of those things like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If I don't talk about the GoFundMe, then it's going to turn into, well, why isn't Scammy talking about the GoFundMe anymore? What is she hiding? But then if I talk about it and I talk about how I'll refund the money, then what do you get from Mike? Oh, she's just saying that because, she's threatening them and she's going to, harass them if they get the money back. So there's like...
Use intimidation tactics was his word. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. But if there's anybody in here that has any questions about it, please let me know. I laughed. Was it last night or it was recently? Oh no, it was in the live I was in, and Snark was complaining that I have her blocked on all of her accounts. And I started laughing. I'm thinking, she blocks everybody that goes in there that asks her any questions. I love when these people who do the same thing, but they're blocked and it's wrong.
The hypocrisy.
Yep. Well, I got permission to I'm sure Snark didn't see them, but, I told her I would post them. So I will be making a post again with what her good friend Victoria said about what Snark told her regarding Hamas. And I will post and I would redact any info. I mean, my information's out there already, so whatever. But I'll redact anything to show that indeed Kimmy did not dox me. And again, to Snark, I have a question. Why are you in Snapchats where people are doxing multiple people? Why? Who else? Who else has been doxed, Snark, in Snapchats with you? Exactly. I have nothing to hide. I have put everything out there. Bougie tried saying today that I've known Guardians of Valor for a year. Yet in a live that you notice how Mike keeps posting sections of my live from like September or October when Guardians of Valor was in a box with me, and he's trying to make it sound like it was a live that just happened like after all this information came out a couple nights ago. He's not putting in there like live from September 30th. It was a chat made because you were going after her. That was the whole purpose of it. And there were other people that were doxxed in there, right? Unhinged. I don't want you to tell me who they are because I saw the information, but I didn't see names or anything. I saw like pictures of houses and stuff like that. One other person they were talking about that may have been related, not on this app. Related to me or related to what? Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did, Careless. So he's going to be the beneficiary. Yeah. All right. Yeah, because you can just go on to anybody's GoFundMe and claim you're the beneficiary.
Can we all go claim that we're the beneficiaries? The ones that Snark made?
Yeah, right?
Can we do
Or
that?
Maggie's?
Oh, yeah, Maggie.
So you can just go on and claim to be a beneficiary. Okay, Mike. And I'm sure your sheep are going to believe that.
They will. They will. That's the thing. They will. They will 100%. And they'll be going to be like, that's awesome, Florida man. You're so smart.
So somebody related to me with a messy record? Yeah, okay, good luck with that. Obviously, somebody didn't do a very good research on that. Unhinged, that's pretty funny. Thank you for clarifying that, though. So Snark, not only were you in there when people were doxing me, but they were also putting someone else's information in there that you thought was related to me. Oh, okay. And it's funny, Unhinged, I never saw any screenshot of Pam saying, no, this isn't right. Don't do this. No, you shouldn't be posting people's information. Oh, yeah. Hmm. I'll tell you. The depths of hell, that some of these people are now permanently living in is wild. It's like, I honestly don't know how there's certain people on this app can go to bed at night and close their eyes and not think about all the immoral shit that they do on this app to different people. I don't get it. I go to bed at night. I was there. I saw. I participated. I didn't speak up. I didn't say stop either. I understand that. But Pam is the one who, originally came out and said that she doesn't believe in doxing. Nobody should be doxed. And then it turned to, well, if you're doing it about Scammy, then I guess I'm okay with it. But now it comes out, and I'm going to take a closer look at those pictures. And, so she's okay with other people's information being put in there that she doesn't even know that, by the way, is not related. So she's putting somebody's totally different information in there. There's a bunch in the fridge. Information that has nothing to do with anything. Yeah, I do too. You know why I have a clean conscience? I'll tell you why I have a clear conscience when I go to bed. Because I know that based on what I and others have been doing, which is in any legal way possible to get Mike to stop doing this shit, I know that when he is finally incarcerated, it's going to end. And it's not going to be only good for Swamp Collectibles, because Mike will finally be held accountable for what he did. And, Bougie can stay there and keep saying allegedly, okay? Keep saying that. And, she can discount all the video evidence and all that. That's her right to do that if she wants. She can do it. She looks stupid, but she can do it. But he is going to have to finally be held accountable for his criminal activity, because he has gotten off the hook so many times with a slap on the wrist. But this one's not going to cut it, because when you have a warrant that is extraditable in anywhere in this country to another state, that's a serious thing. But I know when he's off this app, there are going to be hundreds of people like me, like Scam, that are going to be giving a huge sigh of relief. We know we're not going to have to deal with his bullshit anymore. And there are going to be people that absolutely feel like it's safe to come back on this app again with their own name, with who they were. And that's why I can fall asleep at night. Because what I'm doing is not, it's not a character assassination, because it's all the truth about him. It's not defamation, because it's all the truth about him and things that he's said or done. It's not slander, because all of it is proof, and I have receipts, and he has admitted to a bunch of stuff that he's done on here. Everything that I've done is on the up and up.
Yep, I have tons of video proof, screenshots, everything that all came right from him and his mouth.
Yeah.
Nowhere else.
Yeah. But, what I'm going to say is, if there's anybody that, I'm sure there's a lot of people listening on the outside, because they know if they come in here, they're probably going to get their asses blocked. But if there's anybody that has questions, they can reach out to me. My email address for scammyclaus@gmail.com is on my bio. You can reach out to me that way, or you can DM me on here, because I have absolutely nothing to hide. Nothing. So they can talk over there. They can make the allegations that they want, because it is not impacting what I and a group of us are continuing to do. It's not going to stop us. We're going to keep moving the way we're moving, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And they can say what they want, because once this is all over and once Mike is in custody, they're going to realize not only were they wrong, but they lost. He won the GoFundMe because it's under his name. Yeah, okay.
It's not under his name. Your name is literally on it as the person who set it up.
And how can he access it? So he's got the password and all that, huh? Yeah, okay.
It's not even there anymore.
And if he was supposedly the beneficiary, quote unquote, how is it possible that I was able to receive that money and it is being held right now until it is paid to the person who gives the information? FM doesn't ever go after any men because, to be honest, let's face it, a majority of people on TikTok are women, number one. Number two, he will not go after any man because he has no balls. He is a totally different person on this app than he is off the app. Okay. Which is, again, he is not happy. And he brought it up again today. I refuse to have a conversation with him off this app. I refuse, because I know what he does. He manipulates you. He gives you a false sense of he's a good guy, and you need to understand why I do what I do, and I'm not a bad person, and I only do this because it's bullshit. I don't fall for that stuff. And when he does talk to people, he'll put out false information of what was discussed.
Yeah, or if he gets pissed at you again at some point, you'll find out that he recorded the phone call and he plays it for everyone and shows all your screenshots of any messages you had, and then tries to twist them around and make like y'all were besties and didn't said a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't even really say.
Yep. So. He according to him, and I don't remember him doing this, according to what I heard, is that he reached out to Dora or something in February or March to ask me to have a conversation with him. I don't remember that, but regardless, if he did, I'm sure I had the same attitude, which I've had all along, is he can go fuck himself, because I am not interested in having a conversation with him. He wanted to have a conversation with me a year and a half ago. I told him to go fuck himself. He told me that he wanted me to do a certain number of things on a live during my platform to quote unquote make things right. And surprise, surprise, it was all regarding people that support him. And you know what I told him? To go fuck himself. That's why he is particularly not fond of me, because I am not doing what he wants me to do. Now, I have absolutely no problem if people want to have a conversation with him because of certain circumstances. Okay. If they want to have a talk with him on the back end, I Smash has been very open that she had a conversation with him. Again, I'm not sure if it was via phone or via messages, whatever, but she felt like that's what she had to do. And I'm never going to question that. If people need to do that, that's fine. But I'm also going to say, if you're going to do that, then, chances are, knowing the way Florida man works, is that somehow it might come back to bite you in the ass. It may not, but I've seen it happen more than one time where he will twist and turn what people say to him on the back end to making them look bad.
Yep. If he doesn't do it right away, he does it eventually.
Yep. Which is why I will never give him 1 second out of my time to have any type of one-on-one conversation with him. It won't happen.
And people were saying that there's a similarity there
Saying
with
that video too. I absolutely plan when he's finally arrested. I absolutely plan on taking a trip down to Florida, and I'm going to go visit him. When that piece of glass is between us and there's a phone on each side, and I'm going to sit down with him and I am going to have a talk with him. That's when I'll have a talk with him. Because when that happens, he's not in control of the situation anymore.
So it sounds like he's in that other live trying to steal money from the GoFundMe that you created, Scammy. That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like he's admitting that he's trying to steal money out of it, even though it doesn't exist anymore.
Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that, Florida man. Good luck.
I mean, it's on par for him.
Yep. I mean, why not, right? Why not?
So first he was criticizing the GoFundMe. Now he says he wants the money from it. So which is it? Was it the GoFundMe a wrong thing to do, or was it something that that was right and now he feels he deserves it and wants to steal it? Like what?
Mike, listen,
I'm so
Mike,
confused.
I know a good way. I know a good way that he can get that money. And that's, Mike, you could turn yourself in. How about that? I'll pay you the $2,000 if you turn yourself in. Because then at that point, you only need what? $32,000 for bond? I'll absolutely give you the $2,000 if you turn yourself in.
That could buy a lot of honey buns in jail.
Absolutely. And it might be able to pay your bunkie so he doesn't bother you for a couple weeks. Hey, Tam.
Hey, I just went over and defended you.
And you were able to say something? That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, Florida man likes me, and I went over there, and they were kept talking about your oh, what is it? They keep talking about it, and I
GoFundMe?
told him that you haven't. Yes, and I told him you had it in a safe place, but he was talking about some child or something. Scammyclaus. I don't know. You have to explain that to me. I don't know what they were. What
I have
they
no
meant about
clue.
that.
I have no clue about a
Yeah,
child.
I don't know.
yeah, about a child or something. Something about a child or something. I said I don't know what you're talking about, but I told him. I told him. I said, listen, you know what you did was wrong, and you keep doxing people on here, and you keep uh, talking about people's kids on here and stuff like that, and you know that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. You need to turn yourself in. But he knows I'm a good-hearted person because we used to keep foster kids, and we do a lot for homeless people, and we do a lot for good people and stuff. So I just want him to do the right thing, but they started giving me a hard time, but
Of course.
anyway.
Well, I don't know what
So
I would need to have more context about a kid thing because I don't know what he's talking about with that. But I'm sure I'll get
I don't.
word of what that was all about.
Yeah.
But I
But
appreciate
anyway,
you.
all
I
right.
appreciate you.
Of course, I'm
Thank you.
doing it for you, and
Well, I
everything. Okay,
appreciate
you're
that, and
welcome, hon.
you don't need to do that. But listen, have a good afternoon, and
Well,
go Rocky Top, right?
yeah,
Go
yes,
Rocky Top.
ma'am. All
Good
right.
win for them. Take care. Yeah, right. Of course, they'll bring up everybody's criminal record, but they won't talk about his. Of course not. Of course not.
What's bizarre in that other live was that they were bringing up Retina's past criminal record and comparing it to Florida Man. The thing is, like, yes, she, had whatever charges she had. She did her time, paid her restitution, did whatever. I mean, she's moved past that. Like, his stuff is currently ongoing. Like, he is currently a wanted felon. This is not in the past for him. Like, this is still current.
Listen,
so there's not a comparison in that. It's not the same situation.
Like I said in there, okay? Florida Man has said many times about the stuff that he's done is that he he paid the price for his for his charges. He did restitution, and he did whatever he had to do because he was guilty of doing it. And he was caught, he was found guilty, and he did whatever he needed to do. So he makes it sound like because he did that, then it's okay, right? Everything's okay because he did his time, or it wasn't really time, but he did whatever he had to do. But for other people, where he brings up shit that people did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, where, whatever their charges were, but they did their time or they did whatever they needed to because they were found guilty. But that's not okay for him. It's only okay when he does it. Again, the hypocrisy on this app is crazy when it comes to Florida Man and the people that support him. He can never do anything wrong, and everything he does is right. But people that do the same shit that he does, they'll be wrong forever.
Yep, and he'll bring it up forever.
Yep.
It's just crazy. And all the people, all of his cronies over there that believe all the stuff he says with no proof, and we just keep putting out proof.
Let them.
It's getting hard, Scammy. I don't have enough crayons to.
I'm telling you,
to explain it to them. Like, I don't have enough crayons to draw diagrams for them.
You know what? Like I said, though, Scam, is that this, as I mentioned to you last night, this makes a group of us just want to work twice as hard now.
Yep.
And it gives me more fire and energy to work even harder. To work even harder to get that done. Right. I don't think proof does any good. You guys aren't criminals. Exactly. Yep. But, listen, I have multiple times talked about the situation with Guardians. I've talked multiple times about the GoFundMe. I've talked multiple times and, made videos with proof about Florida Man. I proved Snark wrong today about the lies that she made in that live over there on MJ's. I proved, or I should say OG proved, that 50 Shades of Bougie lied, that Mitch wasn't a part of that whole conversation, and he was. So, that's fine. I hope the people over there do watch my live replayed, because maybe one or two of them will say, well, wait a minute. I did hear Snark say that. She did lie. Scammy just proved her wrong. Oh, I did hear Bougie and 50 say that. They did lie. Breezy just proved them wrong. I hope one person or two people, will start to realize, and maybe those two people will talk to two other people and say, no, listen, you got to go see this. I wasn't in her live, but it's on YouTube. You need to watch this. Maybe eventually people will find, will find their moral compass again and be able to start seeing the forest through the trees and realize that, like you kind of said earlier, they're not like us. They're not like us. We put the proof out there, and if people don't want to look at it or believe it, then that's on them. They can keep running blindly on this app to his lives all the time. That's fine. But when they are lying on me or other people, and I know for a fact that it's a lie and I can post a receipt immediately, I'm going to do it. And Mike says, oh, you're making 200 videos, which again, I doubt that. The big difference is that the videos that I put out about him are truth. Now, are there some like funny meme videos? Absolutely. They're freaking hilarious, the cartoons. Wait. He just put up a letter from GoFundMe. Do you want it sent to you? Yeah, sure. Can you email it to me at scammyclaus@gmail.com? Just like my name here. Yeah, I would like to see that. I need a good laugh. I do need a good laugh. But all the videos that I post with information about him, the ones I did today and all that, it's absolute proof. Everything he says over there is based on his own assumptions, his own allegations, without an ounce of proof.
Or fake receipts, which we've proven. The other thing that they were saying the other night was that when Breezy put out the information that his receipt for the pamphlets was fake and that he did not actually proceed with that order and that those pamphlets were not sent out, he was like, oh, well, thank you, Scammyclaus. You're just proving that I'm a good guy because I didn't actually go through with that. Like,
yeah. Okay.
No,
that's like
it was the threat that he was even going to do that, and the persons that would have been impacted by that, it gave them a peace of mind to know that he did not actually go through with that.
That's like a serial killer who's been convicted of like horrendous crimes, of like offing 10 people, says, well, there was an 11th, but I decided not to do that. So that's supposed, oh, okay, well, that's good. You only did 10. What?
Yeah, it was crazy. He's like, oh, yeah, she's doing me a favor. She's putting out there that I didn't actually send those pamphlets.
I'm a good
I'm not such a bad guy after all.
Oh, my God. Yeah, because
Wow.
saying threats and stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. Hold on, I'm pulling up these pictures now. I want to see this. Really, Mike? Oh, yeah, okay. Dear Michael, thank you for submitting the beneficiary claim for the GoFundMe raiser. Oh, Mike. The GoFundMe raiser? Really, Mike?
Is it spelled RAZEOR? Like a razor?
Oh, my God. The GoFundMe raiser? Thank you for submitting the beneficiary claim for the GoFundMe fundraiser help end Michael Kinney's reign of terror. We appreciate your patience while our trust and safety team completed a full review of the documentation provided. Right. After carefully assessing all submitted materials, we've determined that the appropriate beneficiary for this fundraiser is Michael Kinney, This decision was. This is a good chat GPT. As a result, the funds raised totaling $1,660, which is wrong, by the way, because that much was not raised, will be transferred to the bank account currently linked to your GoFundMe account. Please allow 2 to 5 business days for the transfer to appear, depending on your bank's processing. Yeah, okay.
Wait, he has a bank linked to GoFundMe? Why would he have that?
Wow, that's weird.
Why
But
would he have a bank linked to GoFundMe? Because I don't have anything like that. How many people in here have a bank linked up in GoFundMe? That's weird.
well, and one of the clear things in here is that he doesn't even have the total right. So nice try, Mike. Good one. Good one. Nice try.
Wrong guy.
Yeah, what a joke. What a joke. Yeah. And it's funny how there's like no date on it either. Huh. Interesting. Interesting.
What was the supposed documentation that he would have sent to them to show that he was a beneficiary?
Okay, let me read this here. Oh yeah, okay, ready? This is what somebody just sent me, okay? To help our team process your claim, please be sure of the following. The fundraiser is clear that you should receive its donations. If it is unclear on the fundraiser that you should receive its donations, please use this secure form to upload documentation identifying you as the intended beneficiary. This can include, but is not limited to, the following: invoices, receipts, a bank statement showing you are responsible for the costs the fundraiser is meant to support, text messages or online conversations between you and the organizer, and evidence of the donor's intent. Yeah. Okay. Oh, give it
Oh,
up.
yeah, I'm sure he has that documentation.
Give it up. Jesus.
Sorry, Mike, you can't steal the GoFundMe money.
No,
You stole from lots of other people, but you're not stealing the GoFundMe money.
yeah, it's
Nice
not gonna
try.
be. It's not going to be as easy as busting out a window or shimmying a lock open or stealing from elderly people or anything like that. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, or stealing a box of candy and money from breast cancer patients.
Give it up, Mike. Just give it up. You're pathetic. I told him he needs to change his name back to Pathetic because it was much more fitting than Malevolent or whatever he had. Because really, every time he makes an attempt to do something like this, it just shows how pathetic he is. Really, really funny, Mike. But good luck with that, Mike. Good luck. So I have nothing else to say. I'll say it for the 554,000th time. If there's anybody that donated to the GoFundMe that would like their money back, please reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to send it back to you. And also, regardless, I will still offer $2,000 of reward money for information leading to Michael Kinney's arrest. Please look at my pinned video on my page that has the number for Alachua County tip line. You can call them if you don't feel comfortable reaching out to Bolo at Michael Kinney, Bolo Michael Kinney at gmail.com. You can reach out to Alachua County. And I'm sure if anybody gives Alachua County information leading to his arrest and you want that money for the reward from me, and eventually from Swamp Collectibles, you would have to go through the owner for that, but I'm sure he will stand 10 toes down on that. I'm sure we can find out who you are and you can get that money. So keep that in mind. The holidays are coming up. That's a good amount of money to be able to use in a positive way. You can donate it to a worthy cause. You could use some of it for your family for the holidays. You know, do whatever you want with it. But, you know, let's let the criminal justice system take care of Mike once he is arrested. And any information that you have that can lead to that, you know who you can reach out to for that. You can reach out to myself. Again, the email is located on the pinned post. And as I said, once that happens and he is incarcerated, I will be having a celebration live for 12 hours straight on here. So that's an open invitation to anyone who wants to celebrate once that day comes. It could be tomorrow. It could be 2 months. Who knows? But we will have a celebration. And at that point, I'm also going to unblock every single one of his supporters so they can come over here and celebrate also with us.
But if you do get the reward money, yes, you can do whatever you want with it, but I highly encourage you don't send it to anyone on TikTok.
Right. And especially not Mike. Just saying. So listen, guys, I'm going to get off here because I want to post my Pammy receipts, which she said don't exist and that I lied about it. So I'm going to post those now just to shut her gums up. And maybe she'll just learn to keep her mouth shut because she can never, ever speak the truth about anything. So listen, thanks guys for coming in. Scam, thanks for coming up. Breezy, thanks for coming up. Tammy, thanks for coming up. Thank you to my mods in here. Thank you for everybody for coming in for the live today. Again, if anybody has any questions, reach out to me. I have absolutely nothing to hide. Take care. Good night.